Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Monday, April 8th. We do have warm weather returning at least for a few days here. Today, we have some showers also lingering around and also some clouds. If you're wanting to get out and see the partial solar eclipse today, there will be some clouds around through the middle of the day. Otherwise, another round of showers arrives tomorrow, not amounting to too much. We get a break, and then next storm arrives heading into the weekend. Looking at the weather risk outlook, really no impacts expected. We still have some river flooding. Looking at the gauge on the Portneuf River in Pocatello. Looking at clouds early on today, we do have high clouds moving in from the west. We have some thinning high clouds wrapping around the low in the northern plains, and some other mid and low-level clouds across the area. So looking how the cloud cover is going to be today, we've got an interesting little map here. We're looking at the blue colors. That indicates low clouds. That's clouds at or below around 5,000 feet. Anything in the yellowish greenish colors, that's cloud cover between 5 and 25,000 feet, and red is for the really high wispy clouds out there. And here we are around 9 a.m. We do have quite a bit of low cloud cover. We do already have some breaks over the Snake Plain and down south towards the Utah borders, but some high clouds that will be thinning out as we go through the morning. Here we are right around noon. High clouds should not be thick enough to obscure any viewing over the central mountains, but elsewhere we're going to have pockets of low to mid cloud cover across the area. So in some areas it'll be clear. Otherwise, you'll have to look in between the clouds to see the partial eclipse for the later on today. And then as we go into the afternoon hours, we start to see some clouds still around, starting to thin out a little bit in some areas, but still some higher clouds, especially coming in over the central mountains. Going back to the rest of our forecast for today, we are looking at temperatures reaching the low 50s in many areas this afternoon, especially the lower elevations, 30s and 40s elsewhere for this afternoon with a few showers around. And those showers will be mainly in the eastern and southeastern highlands. We might see a couple of light showers down across the South Hills, but most of this activity is going to be very light, a few hundredths. Might amount to maybe an inch of snow over the Tetons. It's going to be showery, so very hit and miss with that across the area. Going into tomorrow, we've got some gusty winds along the 84, 86, 15 corridor, keeping temperatures a little bit warmer. Elsewhere, it'll be in the teens and 20s in the morning, but with a little bit drier air moving in, that means we're going to have some cooler mornings in some cases with some warmer afternoons. 40s and 50s pretty much across the board for tomorrow. Once you get over into the Magic and Treasure Valleys, pushing in the low 60s for highs on Tuesday. And this wave coming through tomorrow is going to skirt along the Montana border, along the divide, so any real shower activity is going to be across the central mountains into the eastern highlands and even down into portions of the southeastern highlands, maybe down to the Bear River Range, but most very, very low chance for that. You can see rain and snow amounts light once again, maybe around Sawtell Peak over in the Teton Mountains, you might get an inch for the entire 24-hour period. For Wednesday, we continue to warm up. Those overnight lows, especially where we've got plenty of snow to mount, the way to kind of you want things to go to slow snow melt down. Yes, it can be warmer in the afternoon, but you want it to stay chilly at night. But a lot of areas, especially some of our low to mid elevations, are going to be above freezing. Temperatures on Wednesday, a few more low 60s pushing in across the area for the valleys. Otherwise, 40s and 50s still heading into Thursday. You can see 60s to low 70s creeping in. This is actually the last day that high pressure will be in control. Now, we'll look at Friday. Despite the chance of showers increasing on Friday, looking at cloud cover moving in part of the day, much warmer during the day, and those overnight lows in many areas not getting below 40 degrees. So this is going to add to the potential for rising water, river and creek levels later this week. But for right now, like I said, we still are dealing with the Pocatello gauge on the Portneuf, and you'll notice we continue to watch things in minor flood for at least the early part of the day. As we go through the day, we should slowly drop into action stage, and going into Tuesday, we should eventually, at least temporarily, go back in below action stage. Things have been a little bit slower for this gauge to drop, and I think that's because of the warmer temperatures we've had. And sometimes these river forecasts, especially when we get to the early part of the spring flood season, they sometimes struggle a little bit with trying to exactly model the rain, the heat, and the snow rates of snow melt. But again, we still are looking at the potential, at least for the next 24 to 36 hours, some type of flooding along the Portneuf River and the Pocatello area. And again, area-wide, we're going to have to watch rivers and creeks rising again once we get towards next weekend. Even though it'll be cooling off, we'll have that period of warm weather, and then we'll have the precipitation falling on top of that. Have a great Monday, and again, if you're going to go out and view the eclipse, do it safely, and overall, have a safe day, everyone.